so that when you're in, say for example, scuba diving, it's not uncommon to run into a problem, especially if you're young and stupid and ill-equipped, like we were. And it's not a problem. It's easy to run because things go wrong. They can go really wrong. You can't breathe. Oops. You know. You get tired a mile out. Oops. You run out of air. Oops. You run into a shark. Oops. You know. See, so you're in the ocean and you're surrounded by sharks. This is a big problem, especially if they're white sharks and they're hungry and you're on your period. It's a big problem. You're bleeding. They will eat you. That's not a question. They will eat you. See? If you're having blood, they will eat you. They'll go for you. They'll tear you apart. And even if they don't like you, they'll take a big bite anyway. If they spit you out, which I've never seen a white shark spit out anything, but even if they do, well, okay, all right, that's not quite true. I did see one. I think it pretty much spat out the cardboard. It chomped the big, floating in the water. This is a big white shark. I'm talking about a big white shark. And, it went over and it just chomped this piece of cardboard that was floating down there. I don't think it ate it. I think it just chomped it and, let it go to pieces. But that white shark, you might be interested in this story. I was on a boat. It was in Mexican waters. And we were fishing way out, in the ocean. We were fishing on this reef that's a long way down. I mean, the ocean was further down, but this sort of like a mountain underneath the ocean, but still way down underneath the top of the water, right? And we'd have these hooks that had maybe 3, 4, 5 hooks and bait on them. Boom, and you lower it down quite a way. And we were catching these fish about yay big, and they were orange fish with spikes on them. And the spikes were poisonous. They were big, chunky spikes, and they were poisonous. Yeah. And so they bring it up, and the guys that own the boat, basically, they come over with, they say, don't touch it, and they come over with clipped branch cutters. See, and they snap out. They said that the fish is good, but you don't want to get the poison. And then throw it in the thing, right? So we got these. Okay. So that's what we're doing. So sometimes you bring up several fish in a row because there was a lot. This is way back before everything got fished out. That's true. When even in my lifetime, I've seen the decline. I've seen it in my diving instructor, who taught us how to dive, I was like 18 years old, right? See? And he said, when they used to be, they could walk out on the rocks underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and pick abalone up out of the rocks at low tide. You can't do that anymore. I mean, it's just, no, all gone. And then we started, going up to Fort Ross, and anyway, Northern California, and we go in there and get abalone, and it was easy, relatively easy. Nice big juicy abalone. You get 5 because that was you could only buy 5. You had to have a license. You can only get 5, and they had to be 7 1/4 inches or more. So, I had a knife that was thick on one side, blade on the other. See, so it was strong. It acted as a bar and a knife, and it was 7 1/2 inches. See, so I just, all right. It's a good one. And then, see, and you can only get abalone free diving. You can't get it with a tank. I mean, you could, but it's illegal. We didn't do anything illegal. See, so you have free diving. That means you hold your breath. See, and you dive down 10 feet, easy. But mostly abalone aren't at 10 feet anymore. 20 feet, a little harder, 30 feet. So you're starting to get down. You get down 30 feet. You don't have a lot of cruise time on the bottom, right? See, before you're going back up, because it's quite a ways up and down. So you're spending a lot of energy. Anyway, so we used to bring it. And so, see, you don't want to have to go back. We also gave up flotation devices pretty early on. So you don't want to have to go back up. So you got a wetsuit. You got the wetsuit goes up here. It's like the long johns, the pants. The pants go up here, right? You got straps. And then you got a jacket that goes on top. And then you got thing that comes around and crushes your balls. you hook it in on this side, right? And see, so there's a separation. See? So I just open this up, stuff the abalone in there, like that. Stuff another abalone in there. I just stick an abalone up my shirt there. See? And then they'd stick to you. See? But I had the outside, pinning them down anyway. It's neoprene, so it's strong, Anyway, so you didn't have to go, back to a place or anything. Yeah?
You just grab this fish?
Oh, it's an abalone. It's a shellfish.
Oh, okay.
You never seen an abalone? No. Okie dokie.
I was imagining like lightning hands.
No, they move pretty slowly.
Yeah.
It's like a big fucking snail. It has a foot, say about this
yeah.
much is a foot.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And then it's got a shell on the outside, and the little shell's got holes in it. And they got these little guys sticking up, little black tentacle things sticking up through the holes, if they're comfortable. And then they move along the rocks, and they eat stuff off the rocks, right? Abalone, it's $100 an ounce now or something. It's really expensive stuff. I don't like it that much. I certainly wouldn't pay big money for it. But it's okay. Anyway, no, I mean, we got good enough. Anyway, see, you slide up and you watch and you see the abalone. See, the moment they know you're there, you disturb the water at all, those things go in and they suck to the rock. See, and they're on there. See, they get in there and they really suck onto the rock. You can't get them out. That's why you need the knife, you see, or ab bar, and you slide it under there and you pop them off. So it's popping abalone. But I got good. I'd never used the bar, over time. You just slide up. You don't disturb the water, and then you come in and you go, bloop, and you pull them off the rock before they can do anything. Of course, once I got into problem, because especially, like I said, over time, over the years, as we were diving, not that many years, abalone became scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. We always got our stuff, but most of the other guys didn't because they weren't as good. They weren't veterans like we were. And you have to know how to look, You have to know, you got to smell them out. It's like, if I was an abalone, where would I be kind of? And they're, in the crevices, under the rocks, you've got to work for it. See, and they go down there, look around, they don't see any. But we'd always get ours. And anyway, one was like in a crevice, boulders that had a crack. And there was an abalone in there. And I was doing my thing. I slid in there, and I slid my hand down there, and I popped the abalone. And it popped off the rock. But it was so shine in there, see, and I had my hand in there, it started to suck back on the rock, and my hand was on the shell. See, I remember I'm holding my breath, see, and I'm going, I guess, God damn it, and I got very little leverage because I'm sticking in here, and he's fighting for his life, and now I'm fighting for mine, and I won. I said, we're not doing this. I got him out, but that was a little scary. Anyway. I was telling you something before this, though. There was a point, wasn't there? Life and ocean, but I'm with the abalone. Oh, well, that's it.
Shark stuff, fishing in Mexican Bull.
Shark, yeah. My buddy once, you see, when you got this not very clear water up there, Northern California, often like 3-foot visibility, tops. See, so your buddy, you lose them right away. Anyway, so we didn't even think about that. And then at one point, he came to the surface, and he was like, and I came up to the surface, and I think we had a flotation because we were way out fishing this time. See, because we do abalone, and then we take the tanks and we go way out on these reefs and stuff like that, and then get fish, rock fish.
How do you do that?
The spear gun. And no, I'd swim them down, fight them, take them out. Oh, sashimi. Anyway. So he's just saying, shark, and he was like so terrified. What? And so we grabbed the float, we started swimming back, and we had a long way to go. And that was a long swim. Looking between, And I remember a dive instructor telling a story about how he had 3 of them were diving. One of them got hit by a shark, and they put him onto their flotation thing, and they were on either side of him, and they were trying to rush him back to shore where the shark kept coming in and wiping out their friend. The shark didn't get them because he was the one bleeding, see? Oh. And then just boom, and ate him, killed him, and they couldn't get him back to shore in time. But anyway, so this is what was going through my mind, you see. We're going back, what? A fin? Anybody? You know, because they're going to come right up. Oh, I remember. I was telling you about the fish we bought. Okay. Yeah, I digress. I get so many. But anyway. Yeah, he kept saying, the mouth was like 3 feet, a meter, wide. He said the eyes were like eggs. Now, underwater things look a little bit bigger, So, but in any case, and he said, and I sank. See, there's these on the rocks. They had the sea urchins, and they got these big spines. They're like purple things. Near the shore they're small, but when you get out into deep waters, they get big, and they got long needles like that, right? And so you get used to. So you got your gun, you got your gun there, spear gun. And you get used to, there's a lot of rocks and things like that. Surge is kind of moving, saying, oh, you don't want to get the thing stuck on you. So you just take your gun and you go, push off the rock. Okay, push off the rock. So he said it doesn't push you into the guys there. And he said he's doing that. And actually, he said he pushed off the rock and it moved. He said it went boom and started to move. And he said, holy fuck. And he could see, like it was right up the face there. He said the mouth was open. He said the eyes were big. And he said the thing started to move. And he said he just sank onto the urchin. Screw him. It's like he just sank. He did nothing. And he said it was like a train. It would not stop. It would not stop. It just kept going. That is his explanation. I wasn't there. And he said all I could remember is the dive instructor saying they can turn on their own length. They can turn on their own length. It's like that. Don't turn. Don't turn. And they said it went away and started disappeared. Then he came up and then told me, and we went back. Now later, we started to think about it, and we thought, it wasn't moving, and it was humongous according to him. So therefore, it was probably a basking shark. And if it was a basking shark, they don't eat people; they eat plankton. But they're huge. They can be like 50 feet. They can be humongous, and they also don't have to swim. But the other sharks, and we were told in those days, they had to swim. They had to keep swimming. Like the white sharks and the nurse sharks and the tiger sharks, they had to keep swimming. But then, quite a bit later, found out that's not true. They don't have to keep swimming. Oops. They found like nurse sharks in a cave just hanging out, stuff like that. Oh. So anyway, another one. But the shark didn't eat us. In any case, let's go back to the white shark that we left in Mexico. So here we are, and I'm with Debbie, the mother of my child, and I call her mother of my child because we're married, so she's mother of my child. We were together for quite a bit. And then we're lowering this stuff down, and we're pulling this stuff up, and then we're looking down there, and the water's clear down there. This is not Northern California. This is pretty clear water. And she's pulling up, and you can see, and I'm looking down, and she's next to me, and she's pulling up 3 of these fish, on different hooks, right? She got 3 of them, these spiky orange fish, 3 of them, right? And you can see them. Oh, yeah. And then underneath that, there was this dark shadow. And then the dark shadow came up closer, and then as she brought the stuff up alongside the boat, and she actually got it up out of the water, white shark, looking right down their throat, right up out of the water, boom, boom, all 3 of them. All 3 of them, one gulp, just boom. And he didn't even belch. And these are poisonous guys. You see, boom, like that. Now that was a sight. That was a sight I'll cherish for the rest of my Now, I mean, really, how many people have looked right down the throat of a white shark, close range? The good news was I was in a fucking boat, okay? Because, survival. If I was in the water and I saw that, this is bad news. This is really bad news. Yeah.
And she let go of the fishing rope.
No.
It broke.
He snapped it. He took them all. No, she still had the line. He just ate the whole thing. The whole thing.
The line even broke the line.
Oh, yeah. They got sharp teeth, and he's heavy. He's incredibly heavy. And I don't know. I estimated like 25 feet, which is probably accurate. So remember, this is 40 feet, so it's more than halfway the distance here. This is a big shark. And then he swam around, and the guys on the boat, again, the Mexicans, they brought out a shotgun. And as he's coming by, they shot it with a shotgun. Kaboom! And it just went, yeah, what else you got? Seriously, it just the force of the blast, knocked the shark, but he was not interested. And then he went around and chomped the cardboard, which is where we started the story. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that one anyway. Yeah, we'll talk about the car one another time.
Hi, I'm Brendan Lee, and I've been studying with Peter Ralston for 20 years. I really want you to know that no matter how many videos you watch or books you read, it pales in comparison to the power of the live workshops that we host here at the center or on Zoom. If you want to get serious and do work that makes a real difference, please check the links in the description to learn more. Thank you.